Hi, and welcome to Kirk Allen Outdoor Adventures. Today, we're talking about the Garmin Striker 4 ice fishing version. And the reason I got it, I wanted to be able to use it on the ice and adapt it to my kayak. So stick around, we're going to show you how it's done. Today, we're talking about the Garmin Striker 4. I wanted to be able to use it on the ice and be able to put it on the kayak. When you buy the portable kit, it comes with its own base. The problem with this is you need a base that we can attach to the kayak. You know what? I forgot to put on my hat. The Garmin Striker 4 has this base here for the portable kit for ice fishing, and this is the ice fishing pack. It's got the battery there, so this can be adapted as long as you have this base. I didn't want to have to take this apart a million times, so what I did was I went on good old Amazon and I was able to purchase a mount, and I'll include this in the link. And here's the biggest problem with the mount, okay, is of course you're going to need this part here, but you can also leave this on right here. There's a little button here where we can push this and even leave this on and just clip this on here. Now it's just a matter of figuring out for this particular kayak, which is my Old Town Durago 106. This is pretty much how I got my on the water fishing started. So we'll have to make a decision where the best spot will be. Okay, so trying to figure out where I'm going to mount my Garmin is turning to be quite a little bit of a challenge here. I may have to do some moving around. I may change up where my fishing rod holder is to make an adjustment for my Garmin here. I think that's a real good spot for it, and I can simply run the wires in there. The whole idea is to go out and have a little bit of fun. So that's going to set like this. Yeah, I like that a lot. And you can adjust this like any way you want. Yeah, now it's a matter of putting the fishing rod holder out here. I don't think that's going to be a big issue. Let's get a screw in there to keep that from shifting. I'll link this mount in there too, because this has been a really good mount. The nice thing is when you're traveling, you could leave this stuff off. Wiring. So we need to decide where we're going to put a battery. Our dry locker here. We have a spot right in here. We could probably just set the battery right behind us. We're gonna have to decide how we're gonna handle that. But that's what makes this fun. Every job is gonna be a little bit different, and it's gonna be to your kayak and what your kayak's needs are. Let's get our stuff out here. We got our transducer. This transducer comes with the portable kit, which is great. It's got a little suction cup here where we can suction cup it right to the boat. And it should offer plenty of wiring. I've been charging this battery too, so I'm seeing now that we have an issue. All right, so the wiring that is given to us for the battery is only this long. So that's going to be a big dictation on where I can put my battery. You know, the wires that they give you with the battery are so short. We just have a hot and a ground lead, so I mean that's not a big deal. We can get two female ends and extend this wire wherever we feel like it, really. My thinking was to kind of go up and under this ridge and maybe go in this spot here. It's just a matter of, okay, where do we put the battery where it's not flopping around? The Velcro that we use for our Easy Pass is pretty tough, and I got a bunch of that stuff around. Wondering if I shouldn't just put some right on the bottom of the battery and we can glue it right to the bottom of the kayak. I think that's the way we're going to go. And the more I look at this, the more I think that the battery maybe should just go right behind the seat. I've got plenty of space here. I dug around the shop and I found some goodies. Looks like I got some 2-wire here, which is perfect. You can get this at pretty much any hardware store. Rather than cutting the wires for the portable kit, I could just put a female end on there. My problem is I don't have any female ends, and it's 4th of July. Not certain I can get them. I think it's important that I have those female ends. See if the hardware store is open today. As I said, it is 4th of July, so it's not super likely.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware name.
Alright, we're back here at the kayak and we've got our Velcro strips for the battery and we bought our connectors. Alright, so we need a couple female ends here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a hole right here and we're going to run these wires up and through this channel all the way to behind the seat, and I think we're just going to put the battery with the Velcro right there. We're going to use a little paint thinner to clean off the plastic where we're going to put our battery in. Let's make sure that's real clean. Okay, we're going to get one right there. Get another one right about there. And what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and lock these right in. Wherever we put this, it should stay pretty good. Yeah, I gotta tell you, it's holding pretty good. Alright, so we'll go ahead and feed this up like so. That's our power. Then our transducer wire will come up through here, right there. Nicey, nicey. We want to make sure we don't touch those. I've done that in the past, and don't forget that that's going to be really effing hot. Yeah, that hurts. Okay, so now we want to try to get this to line up nice in here. Keep it as clean as possible. So there's our hot. There's our ground. That should be plenty for what I need. So let's get this wire cleaned up. These are pretty tough to get a good clean wire on. The only way I felt like I could get a good clean wire is to actually bite on it. Watch me bite on it. Yeah, so when I was doing it with the blade, or if I did it with the clipper, I end up cutting a lot of the wires. The only way I could do it is to gently bite with my teeth in order to get those wires clean enough that I didn't do any damage. We'll twist those wires real good, and those will be our pigtails. And we'll get a nice crimp on those. So we got our battery plugs there now. Next up, we're going to run this wire. All right, I've had these little sticky clips here for some time. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these all along this edge, and then we'll put our zip ties in here to hold our wiring nice and clean. Oh yeah, it needed it. You know, it's so crazy. I've had these things for so long, and I've never bothered to use them. And here we are, finally getting some use out of them. And then we'll just run the zip tie right through them, and that'll keep our wire tucked up nice. Might as well keep them color coded. couple wires are in. So right now we got a really nice clean wiring job. It's all going behind this panel. Now we need to feed the transducer. We can take this off now. This will be for ice fishing purposes only. All right, well we have a little bit of a problem. You have to unline that. Just gonna leave loops. This way when it's time to take it in and out, we're just gonna loop it through. All right, so one of the first things you need to make sure you do is when you're switching over from portable kit to running the transducer on a kayak is we need to disconnect our float. So we're going to take that off. Real simple. We're going to keep this obviously for our next trip. This is just going to suction cup real nice. Get that wire fed back through. Alright, we're getting in our final zip tie. And we got planes overhead, we got people cutting their grass. We got all kinds of fun happening here. And this is our transducer. I put this underneath the straps, so if I lose it, it'll just dangle safely here. You're probably gonna have to do some adjustments to your transducer, but this is a big suction cup with the water out there. Just gonna suction cup this right to the side of the boat. Now don't feel bad about how this transducer is going to be aimed. Really doesn't matter. We only have down imaging, so it's not like we're really receiving side imaging, so it doesn't matter if it's left, right, reverse, it doesn't matter. It's only going to give us a beam down. You want to try to keep this as level as possible, so if the boat were sitting on the water like this, we actually need to make a little adjustment right there. So if the boat were sitting level like that, so that's about level with the boat. I think that's pretty good. All right, and then the water will help the suction cup up pretty nice. There you have your transducer. As I said, don't worry too much. You want to just try to get it as level to the ground as you can. Tipping it back is not a big deal. That's not a problem. You can tip it back a little bit if you can't get your perfect. I've used this for ice fishing many times, and it really worked out well. So really simple, really, really simple. When you're transporting, you're gonna put that in your inside there and keep it neat. All right, we're just putting the final touches on the kayak, and I think we're just about ready to get it out on the water. But I really appreciate you guys watching. Hope you enjoyed. This is the Garmin Striker 4 portable kit and switched over to a kayak. So it's pretty easy to do. I'm pretty pleased with it. Can't wait to get on the water, see how we make out. Thanks again for watching Kirk Allen Outdoor Adventures. We'll see you on the next one. Don't forget to hit that subscribe.